really, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
That's why it's really important to have a plan. Have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this DJ?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so where you can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and D-gentlemen of all ages. We are coming at you for a Whiskey Wednesday with a star-studded cast tonight, and we are stoked to have everybody here. Joining me with, as always, we have two of the usual suspects. Will Stevenson, how's it going, man?
Well, aloha. I had to make sure that my headset wasn't muted before I started like pressing all the clickery buttons. I'm doing just fine. Thank you for the introduction. For the folks at home who have never seen me before, my name is Will Stevenson. I'm one of the DGen Roundtable's networking guys. I travel all over the states and do stuff and meet people, bring them on the stream. So shout out to all you guys out there. Shout out to Ali for joining us and Crispy Man as well. We'll get to you guys here in just one moment shortly, but things are going great. Looking forward to this conversation. Mr. Nate McGettit, bro, what's going on with you? How are you doing?
Oh, you know, I'm doing all right. Just preparing a couple of things right now, you know, just in the middle of it. But yeah, no, I'll go ahead and give a little bit of an introduction here. Yeah, I'm the Ascending Man. I do my own YouTube stuff where I talk about very interesting things. However, I do still have that on hold for now, again, because there's a lot of stuff going behind the scenes with the DGen Roundtable. We are advancing forward and trying to give you guys as much freaking alpha as absolute possible. So yeah, no, this is community day though. We got our little spotlight going on right here with Ali Kane with Pulse Wars, and I'm really looking forward to hearing all about this. So yeah, if we want to jump right into the introductions there, I think we could do it.
Absolutely. The man of the hour, the one who is currently somewhere near the Prime Meridian and staying up late to be with us. We thank you very much for that. Ali Kane, good to have you with us. How's it going?
Yeah, going really well. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. here. I've been hitting the YouTube streams heavy lately, working all day, streaming all night. But yeah, thanks for having me on. Talk about my new project that we've launched on Pulse Chain called Pulse Wars. So yeah, it's exciting times for me. Very hard work. A lot of things going on, but yeah, it's great to have the thing finally launched, and looking forward to telling you guys all about it.
Absolutely. We're very excited to chat with you about it, and congratulations on the launch, by the way. Making projects is hard, and making good projects is damn hard. Speaking of good projects, we have the man behind Hexfire.io, Crispy Man himself. How you doing?
Hello, D-Gens. How you doing?
I was going to say, I think you've one-upped us because you went and got a whiskey and you got a cigar going. Well, what are you enjoying over there?
My whiskey. Yes, I have my black coffee. And,
okay.
and I'm just playing with my cigar again. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Waiting for a good screenshot of that, Yeah, hey, thanks for the invite, guys. I enjoy being a DGen. Here I am. And I'm happy to share some space with Ali Kane. I'm a player. So
yes, glad to hear it. It's just done that. It's actually been I don't know if you guys have found the same, but it's actually been a really good couple of weeks to be a DGen. Some of these meme coins on Pulse Chain are finally popping off. It's been I've had a couple of nice multiple X's this last week. It's been good to see. It's been a fun ride, and a couple of what was it, Dick with Butts, and there was one Randy Halarski was involved in the Soimi. I caught the Soimi coin at the right time. Oh geez, it was a great one for me.
Well, hats off to you. I know I've not been doing the meme coins, but I know maybe both of these gentlemen on our team have been doing it as well. Any thoughts on the meme trading, gentlemen?
Go ahead, Nate. You go first.
Okay. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I've been a big proponent of allowing all the trading of meme coins on Pulse Chain, because if you look at what Binance Chain has done, the smart chain has done, right? in the past, and then you look at currently what AVAX and Solana are doing now. What is all that? All that volume is literally meme coins. And you know what? I would love if Pulse Chain was, top 3, top 5, because people are just having fun trading around. Also, you can go ahead and pump my bags for me too, because I own the casino that you're trading in right now called Pulse X, which every single time you guys are trading, being degenerates over there, the buy and burn is buying up my Pulse X, just making it more valuable. So yeah, please continue.
Will, what you got?
I was just gonna say there's been quite a lot of stir in the community recently over the whole Soyme thing and the Solid X thing, and that's all amusing and fun to watch. And I think that it's just quite outstanding that we have the life in the community to have these sorts of arguments and fun and everything. And I will say that I made a lot of money on both of those coins because I bought the right spots and I sold the right spots. So it's been fun. Caveat emptor, buyer beware. There's a lot of things that we know will happen with coins. There's a lot of things that we don't know will happen with coins. So like whenever you click that buy and that sell button, you are totally responsible for all your actions. And when someone else does something that you don't like, it's not their it's not their job to pump the coin that you decided to buy on your own free will and everything. So let that be the message that should be spread to
That's a good
everybody.
point.
Yep. It's like, hey, if you're sad because somebody did something with some coins that they were given, or you're happy that someone did something with some coins that they were given, then excellent, but it's like nobody owes anyone anything. So that's the fun and lighthearted message that I have on all that. But I've made some money. I've been happy. And yeah, that's what I got going on with these recent meme coins.
Well, Will Stevenson, I just say that crypto's not for everybody.
That is true. Crypto is not for everybody, and those people are generally the ones who end up giving us their money. So it's like, what an unfortunate turn of events. It's like, if people are if people are going to play games that they don't understand and then like get upset and get angry about like things happening and whatnot, then it's like, well, like I can't force you to not buy things, and I can't force you to not sell things. It's just it's a sad turn of events. And I do feel for them, but it's like on the same sense, people have to be responsible for the actions that they take. You know what I mean?
100%.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, before we jump into our main segment tonight with Ali, we are going to shout out everybody out in the chat. And by the way, if you have any questions tonight, throw them in the chat, and we are going to answer as many as we possibly can. And if you're bold enough or brave enough to come on the stream, their StreamYard link is down below. So hop in the chat, and if we have room for you, we will let you on, and you can hang out, chat, and ask questions all you want there. With that being said, Mrs. Producer, if you would do me the honors. Up first, we got Funkmaster Hex. He says, I don't mind the odd snort of whiskey. Well, that's a weird way of doing your whiskey.
I usually drink mine. But...
Yeah, I'm with Crispy on this one. But look, if you're in the booger sugar, that's fine, but not my game. We got Farmer J, a.k.a. Brown. Yup. Yes, sir. Up next, we got Moonpilled Rational Optics. He has his whiskey ready, and don't worry, sir, I promise I'm not bastardizing any scotch tonight. Just bullet bourbon over here. He gave me a recommendation for some scotch, and I put it on the ice, and he's like, what the hell are you doing? So that's why. We got Joe with a Guinness. Cheers to you, good sir.
Nice.
We got Hexagon Lost in Asia. Can someone help me out with this one? He might be lost. WWAMADR.
We're all going to make a dumb rug. I don't know.
That's a pretty good guess. Pretty good guess.
We will all make a dumb rug. I like it. Anyone can make a coin. In fact, anyone has made a coin. Many people have made coins.
Sorry, Asia.
We got Centurion 54. Good to see you, man. He says, good afternoon, D-Gen's. Got a glass of Rebel 100 proof. Tastes like shit, but gets the job done. Well, as long as it gets the job done. It's
crap. 100
choice.
Yeah. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Ramon Carrillo.
My boy Ramon. I've met that guy. He's a cool dude. If you guys are ever in the area, you should meet him. I don't know if he has said on our stream where he is, but if you watch the Hex community chats from time to time, he will interact, and then you can go organize meetups. He's a good dude.
Alrighty, up next we got Colt Hodgins says, "What's up, D-Gens? What's up to you, good sir? Thanks for stopping by." We got Mick G. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you as well. We got Alan Fizame. Wow, look at this lineup. Looking good, everyone. Right back at you. We do have an excellent gang tonight. We're very excited about it and happy to share all this info with you guys. And then lastly, we got Hex Glenn. He says, "Hey, all, happy Wednesday." Happy Wednesday to you, sir. Hope you're having a good hump day. And we are hoping to make it even better. Speaking of which, it is now time to turn it over to the man of the hour, Allie Kane, the founder of Pulse Wars. So, Allie, for the people at home that don't know what this is, what have you made?
Okay, so basically, whenever after Pulse Chain launched and Richard Hart disappeared, Pulse Chain was going down, charts were going down, the whole community was infighting. It was all a bit of a mess. Two trains of thought. One train of thought was, where's Richard Hart? He needs to come back and pump our bags. Other train of thought was, everybody in the community needs to step up and start building. So I had an idea to build something. I wasn't quite sure what, but I knew I had to build for my strength. So I've been kicking around in the Hex ecosystem for a few years, and I kind of love all the little sub communities that are going on. And what I tried to do was try to build something that try to build a project that I thought could bring a lot of the different subsections of the community together to engage with each other rather than fighting with each other, to engage each other and play something fun. I didn't want to didn't want to launch another coin. I didn't want to build another buying lending protocol. I wanted to just do something that I can enjoy, getting out, streaming with people, build a game to bring people together and just have a little bit of fun and hopefully make get these massive prize pools together and make some people a hell of a lot of money. So the idea,
oh no, I hope.
Oh no, we do it live, ladies and gentlemen. All right,
yes,
so I will do my best to carry on for him in his stead.
I can help you.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and take it away, Crispy? Because
Crispy, what you got?
Yeah, he's put a little bit of Irish on his screen here. Hey, yeah. Hey, listen, it's an NFT game. You get NFTs, and each of them have certain attributes. And,
so is that me?
Oh, there we go.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back.
I was talking to myself.
All right, so what you've missed, Allie Kane, is since you hopped out, Crispy Man has been talking about how the game is essentially an like people get NFTs and then something happens. So Mr. Allie,
and then something happens. Go.
Yes. So what happens to people when they get NFTs?
Okay.
Or what are these NFTs?
Okay, so first of all, think about, I don't know what you guys call it in America, if it's fantasy football or football league. We've kind of taken the Hex and Pulse Chain community. We've taken all their favorite crypto coins and fired them into this elimination game, which people play. And within their NFTs, they get a crypto portfolio embedded in it. And within the game, we have selected a list of coins that you can trade in the game. So everybody, 16,384 NFTs start the game. Everybody gets a fake crypto portfolio that they use to paper trade the coins that we have in the game. We run through 14 rounds over 280 days. For the simplicity of explaining it, just say every round lasts 20 days. Your NFT's crypto portfolio determines where you would be placed in the league. And if you're in the top half of the league, at the end of each round, you go through to the next round. So we run through 14 rounds over 280 days. And at the end, one NFT is left as the winner. And that winner, we're hoping, will get 3.5 billion pulse, which is, even at today's price, it's about 350 grand. But the game is designed to last enough time for us to let Pulse Chain, that the prize pools increase in value, that Pulse increase in value, so that the game pays out huge prizes and prize amounts when we get to the game's designed to run to like St. Patrick's Day 2025 to when we hope will be the top of the next bull run or somewhere thereabouts. so that these prize pools grow in value. And the winners, we pay out the top 500 places, but the winners' prizes we hope to be absolutely huge, you know, in the millions of dollars. And that's a general overview of what the game is. You buy an NFT, you get a fake crypto portfolio, you manage the portfolio, but we've built it to be very simple. We don't want people playing. We don't want the people that win this to be the guys that are sitting trading at the computer 24/7. You can actually, if you only get 4 coins in your little crypto portfolio, and you can only make 1 trade per round. So you can literally go back and check this game every couple of days, see if you're in the top half of the league, see if you're in the bottom half of the league. If you want to make a trade, you try and boost your portfolio so that it gets you back into the top of the table. And that's how simple it is to play. There's a lot of other small features that we can get that we can get into, but it's built to be very simple, that everybody within the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem can literally buy one of these things and let's just play this game and enjoy it. 1 million pulse is the sort of starting price for the NFTs. After a certain number are sold, the price goes up to 1.25 million. So, you know, $100, $125 to buy one of these NFTs that you can use to play this game from now until, hopefully, if you last through the whole game, you'll be still playing and in those big prize pools at the start of 2025. But we've got a lot of other little things built into the game. So we have the main 280-day game with the first place is 3.5 billion pulse, second place is 2 billion pulse, third and fourth is like 600 million each, and that kind of the payouts kind of get smaller and smaller. But if there's 14 rounds, you only have to make it through the first 5 to make it into what we call the prize pools. At that stage, you're already earning PLS, and each round each time you make it through another round, the amount of PLS that you can win goes up, or that you win goes up each time. So that's the first thing of the general overview of the first game. Has anybody any questions regarding that at the minute? Because there's a lot of small details within the game that we can go down. We can sort of get into the nitty gritty of it if you have questions.
Crispy, this is going to pass the mic over to you. I understood that you have the questions for the man. You have any at this moment?
Well, I have questions for the man, you know. Well, I'll make a couple statements as we go into it. So I am an honorary degen, right? You know, but aside from this week, I'm not normally chasing all these meme coins directly out of the box and all that stuff. And I, for the most part, I haven't been involved in NFTs, though I've got a couple projects that I've you know, bought some NFTs from the 404 monsters, the squirrels. I've looked at the sloths, and of course now this game. And I won't tell you guys anything I didn't tell Ali before when we met about it. You know, I read through everything, and I'm really excited about the gameplay. I'm excited. I want to do it. I am doing it. I got a group of people together. You know, I think we all probably got about a dozen NFTs in the game, and you know, got in there early with it. And that was good. I'm kind of lukewarm on this being an investment. I'm in here for the entertainment. However, I do recognize there are only, you know, 200 founder cards that get put out, NFT cards, and I got a couple, so you know that might be worth a bit. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll
some of the
later.
I mean, whenever so within the game there are we have 6 different types of NFT that all play the game a little bit differently. It's all in the white paper, but generally the majority of them will get 4 pulse chain coins. They are what we call the pulsicans, and you'll get randomly assigned 4 pulse chain coins, and you'll manage those coins in your little portfolio. Then we have another type who are the frenemies and VCs. They will get 4 coins from Ethereum or other ecosystems like Solana, Ethereum, Pepe, Doge. We actually call them non-pulse chain coins. So the pulsicans get pulse chain coins, and the frenemies get non-pulse chain coins. And then what we've done, and this hasn't been done before, is that we collaborated with 27 different NFT collections that already exist on Pulse Chain. So I went out, talked to the founders, and what their holders can do is you can buy one of the end of the game, you can buy one of the 10,000 Pulse Wars NFT, where you get randomly assigned one of the 6 types. But if you come along, you can actually enter your NFT from another collection. Like Crispy mentioned, he has a squirrel. If you own a squirrel, you can come along, you can enter that into the game. And the bonus that you get for doing that is that in all the Pulse Wars NFTs, you don't get to choose the coins you get. But if you bring an NFT from another collection, you actually get to choose the 4 coins at the start of the game, which is a massive bonus. That's alpha if you're going to play the game. It's a little bit more difficult because you have to buy the NFT. You have to come along. You can only mint them one at a time. There's a little bit more to it, to the minting, but it's a little bit of alpha that you get to pick the 4 coins that you want. So I should have said as well, when you start the game, you get a fake $10,000, and before the game starts, you'll have your NFT. If you've brought it in from another collection, before the game starts, there'll be 1 week where you will be able to pick your coins and then assign your $10,000 across them in whatever ratio you choose. At that time, the game will embed like a market buy. It'll embed that amount of coins into your portfolio, and then it will track the real market data for the prices of the NFTs. So that, that has never been done before within a game. That there was, a fair bit of work in going out, talking to all these different NFT creators, and then building the smart contracts that they actually, what we built in as well is that, that you bring an NFT in, like Squirrel, you bring the squirrel in, you enter it in the game. We create a new NFT that is your in-game entry, but you still get to hold the squirrel separately, so you get the benefits of the squirrel. If your NFT from Pulse, or if you're what we call them citizen NFTs, if your citizen NFT kind of progresses through the game, you can sell it on the secondary market to maybe cash out, and you still get so you get to sell your game entry to somebody else to take it over, and then you also get to just keep your
Ali, I think you're breaking up on us a little bit here.
Your squirrel in your wallet as it
We'll have to grab him when he evens out.
We've got Pulse OGs in there. They have utility, so people probably would want to sell those. So,
oh man, I'm gonna do the universal
Yeah,
sign where
it's
you've
robot.
been killed.
Robot.
I think he understands.
Ali.
He sees it. He sees it.
Yeah. Oh, fiddlesticks.
We're good. This is a good time to give the man a break.
So for
Crispy, what you got?
For this game, for this game, is what Ali's getting after is they've set it up so you have different categories, and each category has a different type of warfare that it can battle with or do, and some of those have to do with picking tokens and swapping tokens. Some of them are straight up 50-50. But all that's in the white paper, and I guess the oversimplified version is, yeah, there's advantages to some over others, and that's why you can do these. You can do these citizen NFTs, which I did some of those, and then I also went into the game to try to get like special items or founders to get an advantage that way.
Fair enough. I got a question.
Back.
Yeah, I think Ali's back.
Question
for you.
I don't know what's going on here, but yes, go ahead.
What's the timeline looking like? You mentioned that there's a time period where we're waiting for people to mint all the NFTs, and then we're going to have that 1 week buffer to people make their like pregame trades, and then we actually kick off. So what are the dates that we're looking at here?
Okay, so the mint is live. So I encourage people to start mint them, and I've got a lot of work to do to sell these all out, and I really need help from the community to get this going. I built this to be something that the whole community could enjoy. Something totally different that they don't have this on other chains. So and the mint is live now. The full game doesn't start until the 10th of June, so there's a bit of time before the game starts. But what we have starting in less than 3 weeks is another thing that we call the Pulse Wars community games. I'll get into that in a bit more detail, because we have prize pools every single week that all holders of NFTs, even after you get eliminated from the main game, you have utility for the NFT for the kind of duration of the next year. We've built what we've got coming first is a mini trading game that will mimic what the full game will look like when it launches on the 10th of June. So the mini trading game, everyone holding any of our NFTs can come along, come to the DApp, you connect your wallet, and you use your NFT to claim a fake 1,000 DAI. And for 7 days, you can trade the Pulse DAI chart, but you can only make 3 trades per day. And you go into a leaderboard, and whoever is in the lead at the end of the week wins some cash prizes. The first place is like 6 million Pulse, second is like 3 million, and it goes down, and we pay out the top 10 people. But what we hope is that there will be another 35 million Pulse up for grabs every week, and that goes to your team, which is something, again, that we built in to try and engage the community. So if you own, the first thing that we will actually launch after the mint is what we call community teams. So we've picked 20 community teams that you can, and we've created badges. So if you own an NFT, you can claim a badge for your favorite Pulse chain ecosystem. So we've got things like the Tang Gang, Degenerate Black Sheep, the Meme Kings. What else have we got? We've got.
I know RG3 has a community. The Pirates, is it?
That's his is called the Captain Syndicate, and we've got how much all of it is. There's always like a little joke behind them as well. The Xenians are in there. We've got Vampire Attacked. If there's a few Xenians, pick up a few of these. So look, there's 20 different teams, and we have got I don't give two fucks. 9 Inches of Pleasure. So we've kind of covered all the different communities. We've got the P-Dye crew love paganing. We've got that in there too for those guys. So you can claim a badge. You can only ever claim one badge per NFT. Once you claim it, that's it. You assign your affinity to that team. But what way that works then is that, say you guys all join the DGen Black Sheep's team, the Degenerate Black Sheep. You all join that team. There's 20 of you guys in there. If one of you win the weekly game and win the league, you win the 35 million for your team. So everybody on your team gets to, without even playing, gets to claim a share of the 35 million that the legend that won the legend from your team that won that week wins for you all. So we've got the badges kicking off in 3 weeks' time. The game will kick, the community games will be a couple of days later, and that'll run every week. It'll reset every week, goes back to 0. You claim your fake 1,000 DAI again, and we restart. So we've got that going on all the time. We'll change that up a couple of times throughout the course of the next year, and then we've got that running until the main game kicks off then in the 10th of June.
Hey, Ali, I got a question from the community here for you. I think it's along similar lines. We have the Beached Whale asking, if you become out and are no longer competing for the big payout, do the NFTs have any purpose?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just talking about. So the community games, you can play that for free for the next year.
So once you have an NFT, you are good to play for the entire duration.
Yep. And if you own 5 NFTs, you get 5 entries every week as well. You can use each NFT independently. So if there's, let's say there is 16,384, you have 5, you can enter in every single week, and you can manage as many NFTs as you want in our game DApp. It'll show you multiple. Maybe another week I'll be able to share all the games for the first game screens. But yeah, say you own 10 NFTs. It'll show you them. It'll show you the balances. It'll show you where you are in the league. It'll show you how many trades you've got, all that kind of stuff. So we have utility. You just own. This is the thing. It's like you're going to go and throw $100 at a meme coin. You may as well buy one of these bad boys because you're going to be able to use it for a whole year. And even if you don't use it and you claim a team badge, if somebody from your team wins a few times, you're going to start getting cash prizes paid back in PLS. And you don't even need to do anything for that except claim a team badge.
Perfect.
Hey, I got a question for you that goes along these lines. Well, at least the beginning of it. So, if we're going to pay you guys all this Pulse, where's it all go? That was one of my number one questions, right? For you, right? Hey, listen, I think it's important to get this out and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, so the price, 53% of the sale of each NFT goes to the main game prize pool. That's where we're hoping to get that 10 billion Pulse 35% of that goes to the winner, which is 3.5 billion, and that kind of goes down. So we hope to pay out the top 500 people. We have to sell all the NFTs to get that 10 billion pulse mark. So as I say, 53% of the sale of each NFT goes to the main prize pool. 12% of the sale of each NFT goes to fund the community games. That's every week, and if we sell them all, that 12% covers us for at least 50 million pulse in the mini games every single week for at least 45 weeks from 3 weeks away, and then 35% of all the sale goes to the team, devs, marketing, all the costs that I've incurred and will incur as we roll this thing out and continue to add all the features.
Well, wait a minute. You're going to get paid 35% for something that you did for free. Is that how it works? I mean, it only took you like a day in the backyard, right? To type this
exactly.
I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you a little
couple
bit.
of button clicks.
So yeah, I think it's important to talk about this because this is one of the questions I evaluate all projects with. Like, where's the money go, right? Where did the ETH go? We got to talk about it, right? Where did it go? But no, but seriously, right? This is not something you just did on your tablet, right? You went with a development company that built this based to your spec. Is that correct? Or
Yeah, so for a little bit of background, I don't have any real background in crypto. Been here for three years. I'm probably as dedicated to learning and as dedicated to just being in the space as all you guys are as well. It's become my new obsession. I've tried everything, done everything, but yes, all I had was an idea. I wanted to help and build the community. All I had was an idea. I've been running my own businesses for 20 years. I'm 43 and I've got a couple of, pretty successful businesses. So, I can pull things together. So I had an idea to build this, but I had to pull all the people in to do. I had to get a development firm. They're called Escape Web3. Mike and Mark Barty. They've got like a team of 3 or 4 developers that are working on the project. I've had to pull in people to help them with all the marketing, all the design, the UI. I had to pay artists for all the artwork. So never mind the amount of actual subscriptions you have to pay for just to get all these things to work. Things like just even stupid things like your blue badges for Twitter. On my own account, on the just all the simple things like that. So yes, it's been a big project. I had to pay an artist. All our NFTs were not done by AI. They were digitally hand drawn by artists. They're not AI. With the idea behind it, wherever this goes, they've been hand drawn in a program called Blender. Which means they can actually these characters can be pulled out and put into Unreal Engine 5 if we were ever decided to do something a little bit more fancy. But it's just little details like that. You've got your audits. Our audits we've got we'll be releasing the audits publicly for each stage. So we've already released them. We had to get the random number logic. The Pulse Wars Mint audited. Because we had to build new features for the Citizens Mint, we had to get that audited, and then we had to build our own random number generators. We had to get that audited. They're all published on the website. We have to audit the badge contract. We have to audit the first game. We have to audit the full game. So and then like I say, I've done what I set out to do so far, and I'm going to continue to keep trying to deliver what will be a good project.
Hey, thanks for answering that. I know it's kind of like a weird, tough question to ask, right? Because the cost is there. And you and I had spoken about this before. I guess everybody else doesn't know that. But we have met before and we've talked about this before. And through my own work, I've spec'd a couple projects, and we expected the spend to be anywhere from like 40 to 60,000 a month to do development. And so it's not like crazy numbers, right? So for myself, what I mean, those are big numbers. I'm not spending that, but I mean, I get it. I get it, and I understand why a project would need to cover those costs. So I participated anyways, but that's just me.
Yeah, another thing on that, it's been without it's I've started businesses before and it's tough. This is a different beast altogether. It's just there's so much. You know, you think you have everything right, then one person tweaks one thing, and you're back to the drawing board, and you're going. It's so time consuming, and then because in a way, what you have with it, and you know, you guys know this, but I'm just saying, when you know, because you're taking on other people's money. You know, we're here in crypto looking after our own pots of money, but when you're starting to look after other people's funds and potentially millions and millions of dollars, and you're putting it out, you have to, you know, you just have to get all these things right. And it is, you know, there's a lot of stress involved in it too. But anybody that's released a crypto project knows that it's not just me, but it's something that kind of you sort of realize, right? I'll build this, and as you get closer to everything happening, you go, oh shit, this is actually happening here.
It must be a very cool feeling. I gotta say, I think that you have a really good pulse on just like how to operate when it comes to putting out the information on this project. One of the things that I was particularly impressed with was the white paper does a good job of explaining things, but on top of that, you also built simplified graphics to help explain things to people easily and quickly. I think it's really that kind of like dual track mind where it understands that like there are going to be the people that want to like deep dive on this and read everything possible. And then there's also the crowd that wants to just like get the quick and dirty. And in my opinion, you provided both, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, you know what happened though the first time. So like I was in one of the masterminds that I'm in. I picked out two guys who are real good, smart cookies, and I decided to pitch them the white paper that I wrote first. And I literally got like 10 minutes through it, and they were just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So that's why I was like, okay, I've got to actually write a graphic that I can just show people and go, right, this is it. You know, there is, if you're looking in the white paper, page 2 of the white paper has 2 infographics. There's one which is just a flow chart. The game is literally this simple: buy an NFT, manage the little portfolio, try to get as far as you can. That's it. And then there's the flow chart, and then there's an infographic, and the infographic does actually give you every detail you need to know to play the game on one page.
That's perfect. I mean, I know many people enjoy games that require an entire rulebook or a textbook to play. Cough, Warhammer 40k players. But this
Magic the Gathering.
I mean, also that ironically I play both of these, but whatever. The point being is that having something that operates so well that you can explain it on one page, but still have excellent depth and like interest inside the gameplay is awesome. And I gotta to follow up, I think you might be the first GameFi project on Pulse Chain. Whether or not you intended to occupy a space that was not occupied by anybody, I think you are the front runner in the GameFi space on Pulse Chain. So is there anything that you mentioned previously that you wanted to build a project that gave back to the community and provided like fun and entertainment and levity? You didn't want to do it through like a meme token or something, but building a project like this definitely takes like a vision and a lot of knowledge and know-how of how to run something like this. So I got to say, this seems like a very novel thing in our sphere. And a lot of people are obviously showing that they enjoy it and are buying the NFTs, myself included. I think I have 3 right now. So
happy days. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. I have a long way to go to sell them all. I've got to sell 16,000. We've only sold about 600 so far. But there's one thing that I'm not shy of, and it's getting out there and putting the hard work in to get the thing out. You know, I think a lot of people, you guys might be able to give me a little bit of advice here as well, because I really do want to make this successful, not just for me, but for the whole chain as well. That you know, is there any? I think it takes what I'm thinking is that it takes a little bit of time to build trust with the community. You know, I've been reaching out to some of the big streamers, you know, not getting much interest. I think now that I'm out and we can see that the things work, it's tangible, that will help me create a little bit more buzz. When we start to release features and people can start to actually play the games, and there start to actually be prize pools, the less people in at the start, the prizes are bigger for the guys at the start, you know, in these weekly games. So I'm hoping that will build a little bit more buzz. But yeah, I'm not afraid of getting out there in front. I've built this thing and I want to make it a success. So just like, you know, sitting here 1:45 in the morning talking to you guys, I'm going to continue that. But if there's anything you guys think I could do to boost the interest and the sales I'd be open to hearing your ideas as well. You know, I just need to get as many people behind me as possible to make this thing a success.
Yeah, the thing that I'm kind of thinking about is something like, say, Hearthstone, right? What makes Hearthstone popular? Well, it's a decently simple enough game to play, right? And it is a card game type of game. But the thing that they do on online is that they make a lot of like um, colorful graphics, you know, a lot of, you know, sparkles and stuff happening, shiny things happening for people to look at, right? So that's number one. But number two, when they do advertise it, they advertise those big moves that are made kind of like someone's ultimate or something, when you got like a super effective card hitting or whatever. And it's like, oh, this was a big event thing, and they advertise it by, this is the gameplay, here's the big shiny thing that's happening, you should go check it out, you know. So that kind of advertising, actually watching
What do you call that? Is that a crypto game?
Hearthstone is it's Blizzard, I believe, that created it. And it's very, very, very popular, but it's also super simplistic when you actually are looking at it. So yeah, Hearthstone.
I guess I'll jump in here real quick. I think that whether you designed it to or not, your game has kind of hit a really good trifecta of people that it could appeal to. The first of which is people that enjoy doing kind of like the fantasy football aspect of this, or the paper trading. Because I think unless you are a person that is involved in testnet, you're not going to really have access to like fake money, so to speak. And this is a good way to play around with that, make some trades, and then be involved in something that's competitive and actually has a prize pool at the end. On another fork, I think that through the use of NFTs, this is actually a really interesting topic that I think you touched on in a different stream, which is that the NFTs are tradable at any point, which means theoretically they're tradable during the event, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that's another point, which is that theoretically there's even a secondary market built on top of this. And then additionally, the introduction of all the classes and the power items and the founders, this creates that variety and the rarity that allows people to actually go chase out things that are unique and very specific to what they want to do, either to hold and collect as what they think is a good play, or if they just want to have certain things as an NFT to own forever. Like, for example, I think there's the different founders cards have different founders from various chains. Like, I think there's a Vitalik Buterin one. I think there's a Richard Hart one.
I don't think anybody's minted a Vitalik yet, actually. I don't know why, but I don't think anybody's minted a Vitalik yet. Maybe they have. But yes,
Fair enough.
sorry, continue. You're doing a better job than I am explaining this. All those features, yes. You know, it all those features, all those little small different bits of game theory, you know, yes, they were all kind of planned in, and I do think they all fit together very, very well. I think at the surface glance, people don't really know what we have going on here, and how kind of nice it is to play, and how appealing it can be to everybody. You know, that you will have the guys that want to get the founders, and they want to make their 4 trades, and they want to have a couple of power items in the backup, and they want to have a variety. You know, you'll have the people who, you know, they'll just buy a couple, and you can actually just buy a couple and let them sit and let them run. The secondary market is something that I think could be very good. Somebody could get themselves, you know, maybe somebody has 5 NFTs, and they could be the thing I never really spoke. I haven't actually really spoke about before is, you know, an NFT that's sitting at the top of the leaderboard for 3 months might be worth a lot of money. You know, somebody might end up, you know, somebody has an NFT and it's got like say we're all playing, and you know, there's somebody that has an NFT that's maybe 50 grand ahead of has a 50 grand lead on everybody else. You know, that thing might sell for, you know, a nice healthy penny. As may other ones, you know, somebody might be really, really good, get off to a really good start, and sell it to somebody who fucks it up.
Absolutely. The point of this entire stream is not to just like shill the project and try to blindly get people to throw money at it. We specifically invited you on because a few of us are invested in it. Myself, I think I might be one of the bigger ones. But at the same time, there's a lot of different aspects to this project that I think speak to a lot of different people and have the ability to really tie together a bunch of communities. Because you just have like gameplay, you also have community play, you have the continuous free prize rounds in case you do get knocked out. It's kind of got that like March Madness college basketball bracket style thing to it. And there's so many aspects to this where I think a lot of different people can get excited about it. So it's not just one thing. And this, again, seems like a novel thing in our space, and not just for the people that are playing it, but for Pulse Chain as a whole. The blockchain now has a project that is actually out there doing something novel and new and helping round out that space of all the things available to people. Because like you said at the top of the stream, we've been doing meme coins for the last week or two. We all know that's not going to last forever. So this might be a decent new shiny new object to get people entertained and engaged, maybe get a few more transactions going. But at the same time, I don't think anybody's going to get wrecked playing this for what, $100, $125 a pop.
Nope. And my team's going to crush yours, by the way. I just want to know.
Crispy, what team are you on? Do you have your own team?
I don't know. We have a name, but it's people that are part of the Axis community. So maybe we'll
okay, so you're part of the Axis game.
I don't know. No, yeah, but yeah, I mean that's the kind of the smart smack talk, because I had to get squirrels too, and so I've got squirrels with weapons. You know,
those squirrel NFTs are pretty damn cool.
I love Red Squirrels NFTs. Those are wild.
I asked him if I could start putting my squirrel NFTs up, because I've been doing squirrels for a couple of years, right? So I've got, but mine don't have weapons usually, or they're very old weapons if they do. But yeah, you know, it's fun. It's fun stuff. To be able to, because it's a game, it's entertainment. This is, so a lot of people miss this. Community is one of the value adds that crypto brings, because we get together like this. This is valuable, right? I mean, this in itself has value. And then there's also, you know, this game itself brings value. And it's not necessarily the kind of value you trade, right? It's just community, having fun, interacting. I mean, it's good stuff. So I like it for all those reasons.
See,
you know,
the vision of it was something that, you know, even if, you know, that if everything works out the way I had planned, the whole community can watch it, and if you're playing, you can enjoy it. But it's also something that people could look on and go, "Wow, look what's going over there. That's great for the chain." You know, those guys are all having fun over there. Look at the prize pools are growing, all that sort of stuff. The idea for this, and you're talking about community. You know, we're all probably positioned in the Hex and Pulse Chain community and in Pulse Chain because of the community and all that sort of stuff. But where the actual idea for this game came from. So my obsession nowadays is crypto. My obsession before was fitness and calisthenics. So in my Instagram, I have like my Instagram at the minute is called Ali Kane Pulse Chain, and I have like 100 little 1 minute long crypto tutorials teaching people what the absolute bare basics of crypto are. So I wanted to add value, and I switched my Instagram to that. But before it was Ali Kane Pulse Chain, it was called Bar Wars Ireland. I created, and I ran this for about 7 years, an online competition, an online fitness competition that lasted 3 months every single year. And I had, the last year I did it, I had like 250 people sign up to this competition. It was 3 months of grueling fitness challenges that I set, and people done them every single week and sent their videos in, and I scored them. And we had a leaderboard and all the stuff that was built into Pulse Wars. We kind of did it in this sort of little small fitness community. There was 2,000 people in the community. We had a great time for years. We just had fun playing this together, you know, taking the piss out of each other and just generally beating ourselves up and having fun. And that's what I tried to recreate for our game, the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem, with this game. So I have experience of, you know, that the experience that I did, that I ran that for a long time. You know, we did in-person meetups, we did everything online, and I'm hoping to recreate the feeling that everybody got from that community within this game as well. So that's just a little bit of background of where the idea actually came from.
That's great stuff. I mean, I tell you what, if you can throw us your Instagram handle in the private chat, we'll get it posted on the stream and get people referenced over to you. More than
already done.
We'll beat back to it. Will is the links guy.
Man. The links
yeah,
man
we'll jump on it real quick. You know, one thing I do want to kind of add here is that there's, for every single crypto cycle, there's certain narratives that happen, right? And these narratives are kind of the ones you especially as like a chain, you do kind of want to flow with a little bit. And right now, the kind of the biggest ones is AI, GameFi, and then memes, right? And one of the things I've been talking about with Pulse Chain is like, what is it we got right now? Really, the only thing that we have is memes. And so, yeah, with GameFi, with what you're doing here, you're starting to kind of introduce that to Pulse Chain a little bit, and I think that's really important because to me, that was kind of the first go-to of like, hey, we need to start. I mean, we're Pulse Chain is fresh, right? It's newer, a newer L1, and so there's a lot of new projects that are being built out currently. So I think, yeah, as you continue to build out, more and more games and bringing on more projects into Pulse Chain, I do think that's important. And for you to succeed with, like, say, this game is going to open up a lot of avenues for a lot of other people to be like, hey, it's already happened. It's already succeeded. Let me build something now, So I think this is kind of like opening a door or like the floodgates, so to say.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. I'm going to do everything I can to make a success of it, and just hope that people, you guys, I'm really refreshed. Actually, it's been a rough time. It's been very, very difficult. I go on the streams and I talk to people. There's so many little details, but it's actually very refreshing to know that the four smart dudes like yourselves have kind of have picked out all the hard work that I've put into this, and you're kind of throwing it back at me. It's as I say, it's very refreshing, and I'm glad that people can kind of see there are lots of aspects of this that work together well. So fingers crossed, we'll get this nailed.
Perfect. Hey, Ali, I got a question for you, and then I'm going to throw last question for Pulsar specifically at you as well by the panel, whoever wants to come up with it. So, obviously, we're going to speak truth to power here. We are going to sell 16,000 NFTs, but in the weird, very blue moon off chance we don't sell out, what happens to the game round progression then?
Okay, there's a couple of things that can happen. It depends on where we get to in the sales. We could just cut it and start it with whatever the prize pools are at. It just means less people, slightly smaller prize pools, less people. Then we could maybe get creative how to raise more funds as we play, or we can start the game but tweak the rounds so that we can start and everybody can start playing. And we need to tweak the figures a little bit of the amount of people that go into the rounds and how many people get eliminated, but we can literally start the game and leave the unminted ones just unminted. So if people get eliminated, they can buy a second chance into the game. So there's a few tweaks that can be made. I would rather not have to get into that point, but I have a few backup plans. We'll see where we go 3 weeks before anything kicks off. Hopefully I'll be streaming a few times a week, getting the word out. Maybe we get a little bit more of a snowball as well. You guys will chat to some people. People will see the quality of what we've built, and it doesn't need to be a mass sale, but hopefully they just keep trickling out, and we build a little bit more hype, add a couple of features. So yes, I do have a few backup plans, but it's sort of I actually need to play it play it by ear and see how it goes.
Fair enough. Well, I'll tell you this, for anybody
yes, I think that's a real good aspect. If that even if they don't all sell it, if we get to 10,000 and we started the game with 10,000, I would chat to the community to make sure the community were happy with the decisions as well. But to be able to start the game and say eliminate 2,000 in the first round, but you can still buy another entry, or because say we get through the first round, you get the NFTs that are unminted kind of get closer to the prize pool. Your odds of winning are 1 in 16,000. If we eliminate some and there's still some left to buy, your odds of winning increase. So that might be able to make it that we can generate the more interest in buying the ones that are still unminted. So that's just there's a few backup plans.
That's fair. I gotta say, like, that sounds all very good stuff. Like, if you have the ability to do like second or third chance buys for anybody that's tried to play large like Texas Hold'em poker tournaments, yeah, you can keep buying in up to a certain point. That sounds like a good way to do it, or just cutting people out either. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to go. And for anybody out there watching to understand who this type of founder is, if I'm not mistaken, Ali is out here already asking the community, like, hey, should we make tweaks to how many trades you guys can make per round? So yeah, it sounds like, Ali, you're very responsive. You're taking the community input, and there's plenty of wiggle room to play here. So it sounds very exciting. I will pass it over to the team, and then it sounds like we might also have another question for you. So, team, if you have any last questions for Ali on the Pulse Wars, get it in now.
Actually, yeah, I was looking at Centurion 54X. 54X. He's got a question about it.
All right, Mrs. Producer, if you would not mind pulling this one up. I think I found it here. I'll go ahead and start reading it. It says, sorry if I missed it, but how do we buy the NFTs? Are we buying specific ones for a floor price or kind of loot box style, like buying one and getting one at random?
Okay, so like any NFT collection, we built a collection of 10,000 with 6 different types. Each are, so yes, it's what you're calling there a loot box. It's going to be a random selection out of the 10,000. When you mint one, you're not going to know what you're going to get. And again, there's 6 different types within the Pulse Wars and the Pulse Wars collection. And they are structured where there's kind of, there is a hierarchy. The founders are the best. The Pulsicans are the second best, the frenemies, and then the maxis, natives, and then the kind of power items are just like a sort of random item that introduce these random battles to the game where you can get kicked out. So yes, when you mint one, go to pulsewars.io. The click through to the mint site is there. You mint the Pulse Wars NFT. You're going to get one of the 6. You won't know what it's going to be. An important thing to know, and I did say it at the start of the stream, that if you don't want to take that chance of minting a Pulse Wars one and not knowing what you're going to get, we have the other option where you can use an NFT that you already have to mint a citizen. You mint the citizen, they're all exactly the same. There's 6,384 of those entries allowed, and the little bonus that you get is you get to pick the coins that you get in your NFT for the game. So anybody, take a couple of chances on a couple of Pulse Wars ones and see what you get. And definitely, if I was anybody out there, I would definitely be minting a citizen, because that ability to know what you're getting and be able to pick your 4 coins is massive.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to toss the final word over to Crispy Man. If you have any last questions, Crispy, the floor is yours, good sir.
I think the only comment I had on all this is I think a big push in marketing until we get to choose our tokens will be a big deal. I think we'll see a lot of interest at that point. And but yeah, I think that answers all the questions that I have. I mean, I think that's it.
Perfect.
There is kind of in the, it's not a roadmap, but as we release functions, we kind of done it that hopefully it will create a little bit more hype each time. When the community badges come out, they are limited. There's only 4,000 community badges available at the minute. We can add more in, but there's only 4,000 available. So there's a little bit of scarcity added to the game with the community badges. And then we'll have that week when you're coming up to the game. The maxis and the natives, they won't know what coins they're going to get. They're going to get randomly assigned that week before the game starts. So if you mint one, you mint a maxi. It'll just, for now, the NFT will just say maxi. But when you enter in the game, it's going to be like a wheel spin, and you're going to get one of the 25 coins or one of the 30 coins that are in the game. So again, that happens. So at that stage, somebody might not get the coin they want. They might want to go and buy another one. So there's, as I said, then you have that week also of your selecting your coins, playing your portfolio, and then the game kicking off. So each thing should create its own little hype cycle and hopefully bring more people in at each stage.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for breaking down everything you already did, Ali. We are going to go ahead and do a community shout out round, and then we're going to start bringing on guests. So if you would like to stay around and chat with some of our community, we would love to have you. If not, we do understand it is very late there as well. With that being said, let's get to the community chat. So we have a good friend of mine up first. We got Mr. Angu Twinkie. He says, "What's up, DGens?" And on top of that, he has an interesting proposal. He's talking about building his computer to monitors to build out all the streams. And he says, like those people who have 6 TVs to watch sports? Yeah, that's what he's doing with streams. So we understand it is a very busy time of the night to be streaming, but we do thank everybody for tuning in and hopping on here and chatting. You guys are all the best. Speaking of the best, we have the best cheerleader in the Pulse Chain /Hex/ honestly just crypto space. We got Tam Tam. Hey fam. Hey Tam Tam. Good to see ya. Up next, we got the man with the gains. Gains by Casey. He says, "Good evening all. Good to see you, my man. If you want to hop in the back here and jump on the stream at some point, please do so. We'd love to have you. Speaking of people talking with Ali, we got the guy from yesterday, Crypto Black Sheep. He says, it's a shit show Wednesday. Let's get drunk. Well, we got special guests. We're trying not to get too sauced tonight. But at the same time, it is Whiskey Wednesday. So do as you please, just like all your financial advice, which this is not, by the way. After that, we have the man with the bribes talking about the camels. Fast Abdul, your friendly local camel trader, is in the house. Good to see you, my man. Fast Abdul has been jumping into a lot of streams lately. He's had some really great info, by the way. Go check out, I want to say, the stream yesterday with Crypto Black Sheep, and then I think the Hangout with RG3, specifically hosted by SJ. He was also in there, so check those out as well. And then we have the professor himself, STP, aka Swing Trade Pros, swinging by. Good to see you, sir. And another Hexican, Toby1 Hexobi. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you came. We got another classic, Yellowtail. Glad he's hiring for the development. Yes, development is hard, and you always need people to be doing that. Well said. We have one of our own, actually, Brendan from the DGen Roundtable. Good to see you in the chat, my man. We'll probably be talking with you after stream at some point. And then we got Moons. He says, great job, Ali. Gonna buy me some. Well done. I gotta say, Ali, excellent stream on talking about the pulse chain stuff. Glad we could actually kind of pick your brain now that a lot of us here have actually like read the white paper and all the info put out. So we are very grateful to have access to you, honestly. Next up, we got Russ. He says, cheers with a trophy. Or sorry, that's a martini glass. That's right. Cheers, good sir. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sad to say this, but I think we have a Fed in the chat, possibly. Chocolate Taint. You guys look familiar. Shout out to Josh, one of our own here at the DGen Roundtable as well. Glad to have you, my man. This is already an excellent stream. We're only an hour in, and we are only going up from here. So we can take me off full screen unless you want to watch me start putting on tinfoil hats or anything. Alrighty, with that said, Mrs. Producer, if we can bring on our first guest of the evening, we got Farmer Jay. What's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
I gotta ask. The sound is good. You sound good to us.
Yeah, I've been messing around with this thing for an hour. This is the first time I've ever.
We've got Farmer Jay in the house. Aloha,
Cheers,
amigo.
fellas.
What's going
Cheers.
on, bro?
Drinking.
Farmer Jay, I gotta ask: is the Raiders hat
from before?
Okay, so we got an Oakland Raiders fan.
No. I live in the heart of Raider Nation.
Mm-hmm.
The Oakland or Vegas fan? I'm confused. There it is.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, Farmer. Your place is looking really nice for that $20 that you threw at that one.
Oh,
coin
this
that
ain't
one
my
time.
place. I broke into somebody's house and decided to stop streaming.
I'm not gonna say typical
horrible-
Raiders fan, but
They have a horrible guard dog. It's just sitting there.
That is so fucking cool. God, it's good to see you again, Farmer Jay, man. It has been a long time since you and I
It's a
have.
pleasure to see you guys again too.
Oh hell yeah, bro! I still got the box of lunatic cigars from our first meeting.
I
So
still have
there's,
my cigar.
bro, there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them left in here, my dude. 3 of them left in here, and we'll be smoking these at the top of the bull run. I guarantee you that. Oh shit! There we go. Hell yeah!
I got it right here.
I
was
love
gonna say,
it.
speaking of predictions, Farmer Jay, do you have any predictions for 2025? What's going to be going on? When do you think the top of the market's going to happen?
Let me see. In my opinion, probably sometime in the spring of 2025. I don't think we run that late into summer. I think everybody's going to try to front run and sell out. Everybody's expecting mid-summer. So the way this market's been working out, everybody's been trying to front run everybody. So I don't believe that we're going to have a long run. I think it's going to be a quick run. And if we're able to get out and cash out, we'll be back in Vegas.
I mean, we're going to be in Vegas regardless, but you're not
That
wrong
is
there.
true.
Fucking A, right.
Beautiful. I was going to say, speaking of predictions, Ali, we didn't ask you about the macro market as a whole. What do you think about all this?
Yes. So See, on all that sort of stuff, I just stay in my lane. I just play everything for the long run and see what happens. You know, when it comes to my actual crypto investments, you know, I've got my day-to-day DGen plays, but I've got my main bags, my long-term bags. I make a few quid on a few meme coins here and there. I just stack more PLS, more PLSX, stuff like that, and I just, you know, have a kind of exit strategy or to ease. I'm talking about maybe things getting to the top of the bull cycle around spring next year, and be hoping to exit some of my positions then. But yeah, when it comes to reading the markets, that's not my strength. I just, you know, pack my bags, hold long term, and just try to exit smart.
I just ask Agent J when to exit.
That's funny. Actually, now that you mention it, you're actually 100% correct. It does seem like people are front running a lot, right? And so I've got a little bit of a prediction that kind of the top, at least for like the altcoins that, you know, we're all in, are going to be kind of hitting right around anywhere from like November to right around April. And I actually just recently did a stream with Axis Alive, and then this other guy, you know, who happens to be hosting tonight, as well as Mr.
What
Angry.
are you talking
Twinkie.
about?
Yeah, what happened that stream? I don't know. But yeah, we were talking about that and how we were looking through at the others chart, and it kind of seems like things are lining up pretty well for, as you say, Farmer. It's not necessarily going to be the summer, but maybe the springtime, in which you're going to want to be pulling some funds out.
Yeah,
so
we're not the only ones that are looking at the same charts. Like, everybody's looking at the same charts. Everybody's looking at the same 4-year cycles. Everybody's expecting the same thing. So everybody's going to want to jump out before everybody else does. So it's going to be like a game of hot potato. Like,
it's almost like a game of chicken.
Yeah, a game of chicken, hot potato. At this point, we've already had enough cycles where everybody's expecting certain things to play out a certain way. So everybody's going to want to just jump ahead or start DCAing now. And you might see the bear, once we hit the top of the market, we might see a straight shoot down even more. It's going to be, I believe that we're going to shoot down faster than we did last time. It's just going to go boom down.
So you think this bear market's going to be worse than the last one?
Not worse, just it's going to probably shoot down faster. There's going to be less opportunity to take profits at the top, I believe.
Oh, but I bet you. So, okay, so what you're thinking is it's going to kind of like drop faster, but then it's going to even out and then end up pumping a lot sooner rather than like 2 years, like this last bull or bear market.
That's a possibility, but that's, like you said, that's some time ahead. I don't know. I'm just a poor play. I have no
anyway,
idea.
see, looks like we do have some people though waiting in the background a little bit. So
absolutely, let's get some people in here. Mrs. Producer, if you will. Oh shoot, we got the professor, Mr. STP. How's it going, my man? And we got JD.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna pop out. Need to get to bed here.
Right.
Thanks very much for having me on.
Hey, Ali, before you go,
coming on.
Ali, before you go, where can the people find Jat and your project?
Oh yeah, so it's really easy to find. Pulse Wars. It's just Pulse Wars on Twitter. Pulsewars.io is the website, and the Telegram is t.me/join Pulse Wars. Nice and simple.
Awesome. Do you want to promote an OnlyFans for feet pictures or anything, or are you good?
Nice.
Thanks very much, guys.
Good night, sir.
Bro, that was a secret. That was inside pure, right?
Give my secrets away. Shit.
He shared it in the chat, so one of us will just have to copy and paste it.
This is true. This is true. Will's already on it. Will has the pulsewars.io. Ali, thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and best of luck to you.
Cheers, mate.
I was gonna say we actually have another person tagging in here. I may have alluded to him being a Fed earlier, but he's not actually a Fed. He's just kind of bosses us around and keeps us in line. So that's why I said as much.
No.
I was about to jump
He's a
on.
good dude. He's a
Someone
good dude,
said-
I promise. He's usually in this chair though.
Someone says Fed, and I usually fuck off and run the other way. So
no Feds.
Everybody's
just
a
DJs
Fed.
here.
pretty
All
much.
right. Aloha. So let's see. So we got DJ Gagnon, we got STV Professor Know-It-All, we got Farmer J, Crispy Man, Josh, Nate, myself, and Zenith. What a full fucking panel. For the folks at home who have never seen any of you guys before. We're going to start off with DJ Gannon, JD Gannon, since you're up in the beginning. Can you give the folks a quick intro, who you are, what you do, and what's going on?
Man, I'm glad you clarified that because I thought I might have to bust out the turntables here, and I'm not sure we want that shit on the stream. Anyways, JD Gagnon. We have a little podcast that our DGen friends occasionally pay attention to called Go Fud Yourself. Daily news every day, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Shameless plug. It's on YouTube. Go Fud Yourself. You can see it under my name on here. We've done a few things, been building in the space since 2016. Started a company called Rome Blockchain Labs. We launched Benki on Avalanche, Benki Liquid Staking. We were a big part of the ideation for Liquid Collective, alluvial liquid staking, an institutional play. We've built RBLNet, which is institutional grade data, a B2B product. We've built a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, we're launching a fixed income structured products, tranched risk product pretty soon, a BTC-backed stablecoin, and a few other things. So we've been around for a minute, just having some fun and hopefully changing the world one little protocol at a time.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys have been really deep into it then. Yeah, because I know like originally I ended up finding your guys' little podcast, right? And I was like, Go Fud Yourself. I'm like, I love that name. So I started watching, and like me, Jay, and a couple others started realizing you guys, are really you're a good kind of like daily dose of crypto news, you know? And so
appreciate that. You guys are so supportive. It's amazing. That's kind of the idea, right? Like so many of these news shows is like super shilly and fucking, you can tell it's super commercialized. And we just said, hey, we don't need to make money on this thing. The point is to have some fun and do something cool and not commercialize it. So we just kept it strictly to like news and just our opinions on, holy moly, I'm moving all over. Just to our opinions and like sharing articles and what's relevant for the last 24 hours. Yeah, and so far the response has been pretty good. We've done 300 episodes already, which is kind of getting insane. But yeah, every day.
It's wild.
I don't want to say that people go for it, Nate.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it works perfectly for me on my schedule because like I'm literally having lunch when you guys go live, so I'm like, oh cool, I can just tune in. It's nice for me.
Yeah, that was.
I don't want to say that people go unnoticed in this space, but you said you're on your 300th episode or something above that.
Yeah.
300. It's kind of crazy that there's so many of us around here, and some people have been streaming for like literally 4 years. Shout out to Crypto Black Sheep, who's close to like 1,200 or 1,300 episodes. But insane. Absolutely hats off to you guys that have really stuck with it, and I hope it pays off for everybody. I mean, we got to build during the bear market so you can enjoy the bull, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a bit of a labor of love. It's without question my favorite thing to do. Of all the shit that we do, my favorite thing every day is the pod. We bring on some really cool guests and it's just fun. I mean, I don't have to think too hard. Kind of like you guys, we've got a great production team and so on. And so you can tell when they're out of town this week, both the producer and Kiara are away. So it's all me and it's just pure chaos, but it's a lot of fun. And again, shout out to you guys, for supporting our pod, but you guys are, grinding away, doing the weekly roundtable and many other TA calls and all that stuff. It's fucking awesome. So glad to be here. Thanks for bringing us up.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, we got another great source of information. Professor Know-It-All. How's it going, my man?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on the show again.
We were stoked to have you back.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. Man, everything's going good. We have a little bit of dipsy doodle here in the market, but that's comes with the territory. I think we put 7 green months in for Bitcoin. So, a little red, everyone gets scared, but I'm not scared, and neither should you guys. Neither should you guys be. But we'll get into that detail later, right? So, I've been trading full time for about 7 years. I traded 2 of these cycles already, almost 3 of these cycles already. Started a trading community in 2017. I was originally involved with masternodes and building those, and I wanted to learn how to trade them because a lot of those little nodes that I was building, a lot of them just turned into nothing burger, and I ended up losing a lot of money doing that. So I wanted to figure out a way to mitigate some of that risk by learning how to trade. And so I built some trading view indicators, and I built a community, and I teach people how to trade manually, and I'm mostly a swing trader. And so that's kind of what I do. I love it.
Yeah, you're absolutely insane when it comes to like what you do with the charts. Like I haven't actually I haven't even seen Jay do that stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing over here?
Yeah, I can be pretty technical, I know, and sometimes it can be like a foreign language, but I feel like everyone can learn how to do it if you have the patience to really learn it and understand what's happening. Anyone can do it, man. You're just pushing a button, buy, sell. That's it.
You make it sound so simple.
You just got to know when. That's the key. Is when do you buy and when do you sell?
Always now.
It's true.
Buy high, sell low.
Exactly.
We've
got this whole done that.
This whole time I've been doing the opposite for some reason, so I don't know.
No. You're supposed to buy high, sell low, no taxes.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's great. It's great tax loss harvesting. Yes, absolutely. Did that at the end of the year. And then you just buy it right there.
No. Just buy high, sell low. Period. Never pay taxes. Just take straight losses.
Or just don't sell. You know what? If you don't sell anything, you don't have to pay taxes.
Hold on a second, gentlemen. Before we get too lost in the weeds, we're going to announce our last guest who has decided to join us. We've got Josh, the Chocolate Taint, one of our fantastic hosts here on the DGen Roundtable. Josh, how are you doing, bro?
Wait, who's this guy again? How are you doing, gentlemen? My name is Josh. I've been in crypto for going on 4 years now. I was lucky enough to meet a group of guys in the Telegram community one time, and we decided to create a podcast. And since June, I think it's 956x or 965x, one of the two. Either way, good to be back on. It's been a while since I've been back, since I've been behind the camera. I just got a lot of stuff going on right now, work-wise, and with other projects and stuff that I'm working on. So, but you guys have been crushing it, and I was watching the show, and I figured, hey, let me go ahead and hop on here, get into this conversation, because you guys have absolutely been crushing it. Zenith, it's been awesome to see your hosting skills improve. Will, same with you. Nate, you've been absolutely crushing it also. So, in my absence, I'm glad to see that you guys have stepped up and you guys are adding to your bank as well. So great job there. Guests, good to see you guys. Farmer Jay, great to actually put a face to the name in the comments and all that stuff. Crispy, good to see you. No, JD, great to meet you guys. Looking forward to having some good conversation here.
By the way, Josh, I think we have one more person you got to say hello to. Mrs. Producer, if you wouldn't mind bringing on a fan favorite. We got Gains by Casey. How's it going on, man?
Whoa.
Oh, he's muted.
Looking sharp.
Yeah,
Casey, we were getting some feedback from you on your side. Your audio jack might not be plugged in all the way. Check
Damn, he had that whole setup too. He's looking sharp as all hell. He's got the drink, and then the audio rugs him.
You are looking good though, bro. So we are hearing some like scratchy, staticky. Well, it stopped right now, so perhaps it is working.
He's putting our $2 shirt to shame. Will.
We cannot hear you, Casey.
Yep, you are currently muted on the StreamYard side. That might.
Nope. While it figures that out, though, we do have a comment by the man himself. He says, agree with Chocolate Tate big time. All you guys have made major improvements in your streaming. So, I mean, we're glad to hear it. We're here to help put out the best show that we possibly can. So as long as everyone's showing up and having a good time, that's all we can really hope for.
And
putting out good info.
I must say, Farmer Jay, this shirt cost me, I think, like $10, not $2. For clarification,
in 2024 terms, that's still not a bad price.
Oh yeah, I'm rolling. I got this shirt on a 5X when that Pepe coin jumped up. That's when I was able to buy all my clothes and stop wearing garbage bags.
I dumpster hop at the Goodwill for my clothes.
Oh, there we go.
Hello,
Mr. Casey. Oh yes, we got you, bro.
Hey.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. You look real sharp, my man. Any special occasion tonight or what?
Yeah, I'm on a podcast.
Oh, fair enough. Well, what are you drinking, by the way?
He's showing off. He's showing off his Miami garb for October.
That's right.
I think that's exactly what that is. He's showing off his Miami garb, and Will is showing off his also because that's what he would wear in Miami right now. So
both are appropriate.
Good to see you, Casey, man. Glad you're on, dude.
See you guys too. Thank you. Yeah, I'm drinking on some El Silencio Mezcal right now. It's one of my favorites.
Excellent. What have you been up to? We know you're a super busy guy between the gym, crypto, slinging pizza, and just working out in general. What you got?
Yeah, man, a lot of the same. Probably the biggest thing, though, is actually sold my ownership stake in the gym. And I'm slowly phasing out of really any work that I need to be tied down to one location to do. So I just got my life insurance agent's license. So I'll be working remote as an independent agent selling life insurance and hopefully traveling while I do it. Ideally meeting up with a lot of you guys and doing that. So I'm still coaching, but I'm just kind of putting the wheels in motion to be able to travel more and ideally relocate. Yeah, New York is not my favorite.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Those sound like some big moves. I know, honestly, you've been one of the people that we like to highlight the most in this community, just because it feels like you do so much community building online as you do offline with the gym, partnering with the local schools to help the sports programs and all the kids and stuff, and then also just keeping the businesses running in your community. So absolutely hats off to you and the good work you've done there. And it sounds like a transition to a new phase in the life.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Networking has been how I've gotten like every job that I've had in my life that was relevant. I didn't go to school for like fitness or anything. I just kind of was all self-taught and then made friends with people that were doing what I wanted to do. So all the community outreach is always just, if you meet enough people, everyone I think has something that they can teach you and that you can learn from. And you never know when some opportunity might come up and like, actually, I know someone I can call about this, and then you can open a lot of doors that way.
Beautiful. So, and I'd be remiss not to ask about the subtitle. We got the American Warrior Festival. What is that?
Yeah, so the American Warrior Festival is a project that myself and a different business partner are running. It's our operation where we work with different recruiters for military. We go to them and we basically act as like a broker for tutors and physical fitness training. So for kids that aren't eligible to sign a contract that want to enlist with either Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, we basically go to the recruiters and say, hey, we're going to put you in contact with tutors and with fitness professionals. And then we host physical training events for their poolies and their recruits. And we host online ASVAB training and in-person tutoring sessions. So did the proof of concept in New York where we work, or where we live. And now we're building it out across the country, and our goal is to get government funding. So that's going to be my main fitness with like where I'm putting my eggs in the fitness basket. My focus now that I'm not an owner with the gym.
That sounds like some good moves right there. I know it's a bit unfortunate, but the military has been struggling with recruiting lately, and helping people get past those fitness tests is going to absolutely help bolster the numbers and ensure that we got a good future in the country going forward. I think everybody here is American, unless I'm conflicted somewhere. Yeah. Other than that, I think we do have one person that has a little bit of show and tell they want to share with us. So, Professor,
hey, Z, real quick. Yeah. Just real quick, if it's okay. You had asked,
please do.
You had asked Farmer J a question, and I wanted to get it's fine. I wanted to get Node and JD. I wanted to give them a chance to sort of give their estimates as well. As far as when you think the top will be, whether it'll be summer 2025, spring, fall, maybe it'll be 2024. But I was curious because I saw a note in the background say something about exiting and stuff like that. So I wanted to get their opinions also. It's fun to talk about that stuff. So
absolutely. Let's pass it over to JD first, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we should let Node come in last with the actual knowledge bomb. I'll just probably tell you something that you should counter trade. Honestly, I mean, this is my fourth cycle trading here, and I was a trader in TradFi for years. I mean, the one thing that I know with certainty is that I don't know anything. I don't have any crazy predictive skills or a crystal ball. I'm working on a crystal ball, but it's not finished yet. All of that to say, game theory is real, and it's on steroids here in crypto. And so to build on what Farmer J said, which I wholeheartedly agree with, in the sense that I think everybody's going to continue to try front running each other. It's part of why the cycles have been shorter and shorter each time because we all use, it depends. I don't know, Noah, you might talk about this, but there's a lot of guys using fractals and trying to use like previous cycle patterns to predict current cycles. I think it's insane in low liquidity, low volume markets to be using that as gospel, but people do it. All of that in mind, I think we saw somewhat of an accelerated recovery because of the BTC ETF. Getting to all-time high of BTC this far in advance of a halving, and then the volatility that's surrounded it. I mean, to me, that says, again, that we're probably shortening the cycles. And for that reason, I think at the end of 2024, I will probably be going to cash personally. Tax loss harvesting or gain harvesting or trying to mitigate planned taxes is a real thing in November, December, the end of the year. Obviously, everybody's hopefully in the green this year. So, I mean, there's people that'll be making decisions for tax reasons. And then I think because people expect that dump-ish in January or December, people try to front run it. And so could it go into 25? I sure as shit hope so. That was a long bear. I don't know. It was ugly and painful, but I don't see a world where we're going to go too far into 25. So there you go.
All right.
Professor, the floor is yours.
Actually, I agree with JD a bit. So, but I'm going to back that up with some charts.
Perfect.
So,
business producer. Perfect. Go for it.
I actively watch Tether dominance because this is a really pretty big leading factor of what cryptos do. Now I realize that Tether dominance is, well, I would still say Tether is the most dominant stablecoin right now in this market. So me watching this is, I think, still pretty relevant. But what I also, there's an interesting chart that I've been watching as of lately. It's actually USDC and USDT market cap. And I'm going to delete this stuff, but so you guys can see it a bit better. So this is a quarterly chart of the market cap of Tether and USDC. And this was our last bull cycle. Okay. And some people might say, hey, well, wasn't this the top of the market or pretty close to the top of the market? The answer to that was no. The top of the market was like what, May of 20. Actually, I think this was the top of the market, right? When did we top out last cycle? Sorry.
I want to say we had two tops. We had one in May, and then we also had one on November 10th.
Yeah. So
November 10th is the 69 for like 4000.
Yeah, that was our technical double top, though, right? So we really topped out when we made our first top. That was actually the top, I think. And we just made a local second. I know we made a higher high on price, but it was technically a double top. So yeah, this right here was the top for the stablecoin market, meaning when this topped out, no more stable coins were being minted or fresh capital coming into the market. So what's cool is we're in a breakout right now. We actually just started this next cycle for minting more tethers and fresh capital coming in. So I'll be watching this also, aside from the tether dominance chart. But the way I see this is, and JD, since you're a trader, you kind of know this a bit as well, but a 23% move for minting new stable coins it doesn't seem like this is just off this range here, but this was a lot of stable coins coming in here. And we could see something similar. Like, I'm not saying that this is going to be the end of the move, but based on what I'm seeing here, based on this data that I have here, I don't know what this is going to look like. But what I do know is if I go to my monthly chart and we had a squeeze that broke on the monthly, this could last months, like 6 months, 6 to 12 months, essentially, of new stable coins coming into the market or so. And now I don't really have that much data on this because it's, the stable coin market caps. But I'm looking at this. We got a monthly cross up, so that's confirmed. And the other thing that I'm looking at here is obviously Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin's our lead. And every single time we start getting overbought on the monthly chart, in the past, it's preceded well, I don't think we're going to have a cycle. I don't think we're going to have this type of cycle that we saw in 2017 because of where the dollar is right now. The dollar is actually looks like it's breaking out, to be fair, or close to breaking out. So I think it's going to be, like he said, a shortened cycle. And I don't think we're going to really see. I mean, I don't know the exact top. Nobody knows where the exact top is going to be. But if we're just looking at Fibonacci, I'm looking at 100 to maybe 125K by the end of the year, and I think that might be it. And that would be kind of confluent with our top trend line here. And typically, after we start to make overbought monthly candles, on average, we've had about 6 to 7 overbought monthly white candles. So that would probably put us towards, October, November, something like that.
I do want to get your take on something I've heard in the community recently, which is that Bitcoin has never had more than 6 green monthly candles in a row. And as it turns out, through March, we just got our 7th. Were you tracking any of that information?
To be fair, actually, the only one time was there 7.
Yeah, there was one previous time that there were 7 monthly white candles. I think it was back in 2012 or something, 2013.
It just seems like a very, very bullish time in the market, and we were not anticipating this so early in the cycle.
Yeah, and so it's accelerated because of the ETFs and the institutional buying, and I think. And a lot of that, and the reason why they're accelerating it is because of so my trigger for when this market's going to actually top out is when the Fed decides to start cutting interest rates. So when they start to cut interest rates, I think that's going to happen in May or June. I think about 6 months after they do that, that's when the markets could top out. So that puts us basically around December, January. But my strategy is going to be after the halving, probably after the summertime, when we really start to get into the real swing of this alt season. Because right now I wouldn't even really say that we're in an alt season because Bitcoin dominance isn't really showing us weakness yet. Once Bitcoin dominance really starts to break down, we're going to start to see altcoins just start to fly. Right, we're at a pretty critical spot here on Bitcoin dominance, so I'm watching this pretty hard. So when this starts to really reverse on the monthly chart, I think we're going to see some pretty crazy action.
That makes sense. We actually had a stream on Saturday with Mr. Angry Twinkie and Axis. We were talking about the chart called Others, talking about everything excluding the top 10, and we were trying to figure out what do the altcoin seasons look like. There were 2 specific points that I think a lot of us identified. One was which just outright the altcoins do better than Bitcoin, but the second one was what I think you just alluded to, which is that when Bitcoin actually starts to regress a little bit and drop, that's when altcoin season really picks up because you get a compounding effect of the altcoins doing better and the denominator, which is Bitcoin, starts to drop as well.
So I would say not necessarily when Bitcoin drops. It's more like when Bitcoin finds a range and consolidates. Because when Bitcoin drops, that usually means that the dollar is pushing. Right? So it's not necessarily when Bitcoin drops. It's more like when Bitcoin's consolidated and finding or establishing a new range after a breakout or really just maybe going sideways or consolidating, building up energy for another movement. And during that consolidation period is when we can start to see altcoins really start to explode. And that's, I think, what you're referencing or trying to get at. And I agree. Yeah, that is exactly what we're looking for. And I think a lot of that stems from when Bitcoin dominance starts to lose its dominance, whilst Bitcoin's holding its strength against the dollar.
Interesting.
So I'm looking for this rejection right here. We're right at a major trend line. If Bitcoin dominance breaks out, man, we're probably not going to see an alt season. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because really look at the quarterly chart. This still has room to run up, man. It's only at 40. Charting Bitcoin dominance is whatever. But 45 on the quarterly chart. It's actually in an RSI breakout technically. What happens if Bitcoin is just the show, man? And some of these altcoins, yes, you're going to have certain altcoins that do outperform Bitcoin. There's always those coins that do that. But we may not see an overall market where altcoins just outperform Bitcoin. If this happens,
So what you're
because
saying is that if Bitcoin dominance breaks the trend line that you've drawn, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think we're at like 54, 52% Bitcoin dominance right now.
yeah, yep.
So if we go up to like anything like 58, 60 plus, that's when we're going to start seeing just everything else kind of falter and Bitcoin win, so to speak.
Like in terms of its performance, yeah. I mean, against the dollar, everything's going to go up, right? We're in an inflationary environment. Inflation up, everything up. Okay, so but that I'm talking in terms of accumulating more Bitcoin, right? The whole point of trading altcoins is to accumulate more Bitcoin, right? Or I mean, that's my plan. I mean, I don't know what everybody else does, but yeah. So like the whole point of altcoins is to find a coin that's going to outperform Bitcoin, so you can get those 100x gains, right, or 50x gains. That's the whole point, right? I mean, that's my point. That's the point. That's the reason why I trade them. Like, I took this trade the other day on Klima Finance or whatever, Klima coin, and this thing just did like a 7x from the low. And I'm sure if I looked at this versus Bitcoin, it probably looks crazy. Like it,
That's
probably
fair. Tell you what, this is really good info. And you brought up a really good point, which I want to toss back to the rest of the panel, which is that the whole point, it sounds like for you, the whole point of being in crypto is to stack more Bitcoin specifically. I want to go around and ask
the professor.
Go for it, please.
What's up?
You said that there's a possibility that Bitcoin doesn't lose its dominance, right? And I also see that as a possibility just because of how much money is coming in through the ETFs. You have different states and different countries looking into putting money into ETFs on their retirement. Is there a possibility, as far as you can see, because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here at these charts, bro, I'm completely lost. But is there a possibility where you can see that the altcoins do run, but Bitcoin still remains its dominance, just based on how much money comes in from all these other places, like I said, these state agencies that are looking. I think Arizona was looking into putting some of their state pension money into there. There's other countries that are looking to it. Is there a possibility where you see that happening?
Yes, there is a possibility that I see Bitcoin dominance continuing its rise. I was just kind of going through that, like. If you look at the quarterly chart,
yeah, but do you see that happening, and also that altcoins can still run, or is that not a possibility?
So if you're just looking to earn more fiat currency off your altcoins, the answer to that is yes. All of them are going to appreciate against the dollar. If the dollar is going to come off, all of them are going to appreciate against the dollar. The whole point of trading Bitcoin pairs is to accumulate more Bitcoin. So you may not be able to do that if Bitcoin dominance is dominating those coins, meaning they're not going to be necessarily outperforming Bitcoin. So it just depends on what your goal is here. If your goal is to earn more fiat currency or more dollars, then yes, you're definitely going to be able to do that if given you pick the right asset, right? And the whole point of me looking at Bitcoin dominance, though, is to really see if we're going to get a period of time where the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin and go on these crazy parabolic movements against Bitcoin, in particular Bitcoin.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what you're looking for, is to do better than Bitcoin. It's why when you look at the charts, you're looking at how does this particular coin compare to Bitcoin, hence the dominance chart. And so generally, though, here's kind of what I'm looking at, right? So number one, what you're doing, crypto leverages itself. That's got to be stated, because way too many people come in here thinking like longing and shorting something, right? Well, it's like, okay, that's what you do in stock markets, right? But when it comes to crypto, you're looking at a coin versus coin ratio, in which you pick an altcoin that has a lower liquidity level that can pump harder than Bitcoin can, and then you remove those those extra funds that you made from that, those extra X's, into Bitcoin while Bitcoin continues to rise. That's ultimately how you leverage crypto. So with that being said, though, usually the way that alts tend to move is whenever Ethereum starts doing better than Bitcoin. So generally the way it works is Bitcoin pumps, and then Ethereum starts pumping, and then the money flows into top top 10 alts and all that, right? And then lower liquidity alts, right? So the question then is going to be, what's going to happen if we get an Ethereum ETF? Is it going to have the same effect as a Bitcoin ETF? And if it does that mean then that Bitcoin is like doing great, but Ethereum is going off hinges, in which then the the other alts are just pumping to Mars?
So that's what it's part of the reason why I just pulled up the ETH BTC chart here. So if we look at the ETH BTC chart right now, it is at a pretty critical spot on the chart. It's like a 8-year pennant that it's in right now, and we're right on the demand line on the monthly chart. And like you said before, if we get an ETH ETF to come in, institutions are going to be allocating into Ethereum as well as Bitcoin, right? And so, and this chart right here is telling me that we have a crazy amount of monthly bullish divergence. So I am going to sit here and tell you that at some point, this trend will shift to Ethereum. It will become an ETH show at some point. If we start to see price action, like we're not really seeing that right now. In fact, we're actually kind of breaking down right now. This is technically a breakdown on the monthly chart. But the month just started, so this could change real quick. We could just see a big candle.
You mind if I actually throw something in here real quick, though?
Sure.
So your ETH is kind of breaking down here, and this is the dominance I've kind of noticed is kind of dropping for ETH, but I almost wonder if the dominance of Solana has had anything to do with that, just taking all what usually would have been Ethereum.
So that's a good point. I think it's a mix of things. It's actually probably a lot of the L2s on ETH, like Arbitrum, Optimism, all the major L2s for ETH that are actually taking a lot of liquidity away from ETH. Obviously, of course, you have Solana and some of the other major L1s that are probably sucking up some of that liquidity too. But yeah, definitely ETH is like an old system, if you will, right? Like Solana's the new king right now, right?
Third cycle curse, just saying.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I personally don't own any ETH this cycle. Actually rolled a lot of it. But I mean, if the ETH ETF gets approved, you're looking at ETH being a tier 1 asset. So there's that. That is a big narrative for sure.
Hey, Prof, we got a question from the community here. We got Paul Sachs asking, could the Ethereum ETF reset the cycles if we get the ETH ETF 31 days after the Bitcoin top?
Can we get Ethereum ETF 31 days after the BTC top?
So I think
everyone thinks everyone thinks ETH ETF is a top signal, and the crowd is always wrong. I don't think ETH ETF is a top signal at all. I think the ETH ETF is a signal for them to buy ETH or roll their Bitcoin for ETH. And that's kind of being displayed on the ETH BTC chart right now, that we're right at a demand zone, and we're showing, some week or some monthly bullish divergence on it, which hasn't matured at all yet. It's just still kind of not really showing signs of life yet. But yeah, I mean, it's totally in the buy zone. We're, monthly chart RSI is below 45. This doesn't look very good to me, though. We've actually broke the low on the RSI from January of 2020 in terms of its strength. So it's very weak versus Bitcoin right now. And it's tough to be an ETH bull when the ETH BTC chart looks like this. But these things can change on the dime. Like next week, we could see them roll Bitcoin for ETH here, and they can just start ripping ETH out.
I think it's something that we saw a little bit of when the Bitcoin ETF was officially announced, but we had that initial dip, and my understanding is that a lot of it was caused just from the outflow of the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. And then at the same time, Bitcoin is going down, Ethereum looked like it was receiving a lot of the volume from Bitcoin, which is that people that were probably previously involved in the Grayscale ETF took profits and then rolled it into Ethereum. But then immediately after that, obviously we had Bitcoin just go to the freaking moon. So I feel like that kind of drowned out that narrative a bit.
Yeah, so this candle right here was the ETH ETF or the Bitcoin ETF. And that, to me, I thought this was actually when we were going to start to see ETH maybe make a move against Bitcoin, but it just became a Bitcoin show after the ETF. So I'd like to see some price action come in here on ETH, man. I mean, that is usually a good sign. And another good chart to look at that I like to look at a lot is I don't know if you guys look at it a lot, but it's the altcoin season index on blockchaincenter.net. It's a good reference point as to where we're at in the cycle. And if you go to the yearly chart, you could see where we're at. Or this is the yearly chart. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here you go. This is better. So we're right here. We actually had a bit of an altcoin break. If you look carefully, we're really only we just broke out of this range, if you will, on these alts. But I think once the altcoin season index gets to that 75 to 80 region, it's probably time to get out of the market. Because I know last cycle we had 3 peaks here, one at 84 and then one at 88. And then we made this blow off top thing in December, right after Bitcoin topped out in November. So I'm fine with not selling the exact top. I'm fine with actually selling into the strength of these moves because especially with some of these lower cap coins, the liquidity is going to be an issue getting out of them. So for me, I'm fine selling into it breaking its all-time high and maybe getting to its, major 1272 fib extension, for example, so that's kind of my strategy. That's kind of how I'm going to be playing this market. So I'm paying attention to the altcoin index chart, tether dominance chart, and the USDC USDT market cap chart.
Beautiful. Professor, thank you so much for sharing these charts with us. We are actually going to start heading towards the end of the show, and I'm going to go around the horn, and I want to ask the question to everybody on the panel about what their goal is for this crypto cycle. I know previously you talked about how your goal is to stack Bitcoin, and you kind of measure everything against that. So I just want to know how everybody on here is measuring their success. I know me personally, I do measure in effectively US dollars for as much crap as I give that fiat currency. But unfortunately, it's the one that I buy candy bars with. So I need it for something. First off, we're going to throw it over to our man in the suit, Casey. Good sir, how do you measure success this crypto cycle? What's your yardstick?
Mine's going to be definitely a mix of US dollar, Bitcoin, and likely Ethereum as of right now, unless something else changes. I was thinking about this a lot. If I wanted to, one thing I've always wondered is how much my Bitcoin should I sell at the top? That's been something that I've always thought is use other coins to cultivate it and maybe just never sell that or keep it for the very long term. I may sell my initial investment just so that all my Bitcoin is effectively free. But my main goal, I would say, to measure my success is that when it's all said and done, as we're heading back down into the bear, to take a look at what my average selling price is across my positions. And if it's a price where, I know I'm not going to catch the top on everything, maybe a couple things I get lucky here and there, but if I can look back, 10 months after it's done and be like, okay, my average price was selling it here, and not feel too bad about that. But definitely I want to get my bank account to a certain number. And I'd like my Bitcoin and, like I said, as now ETH to be kind of a goal size of mine that I want to have at the end of it.
Beautiful. Where can the people find you at?
Instagram and Twitter, or X, Gains by Casey, just as it's spelled. And you can find my Facebook off of those if you're really inclined to use that.
Beautiful.
But, yeah, that's
by
where
the
I'm
way,
at most of the time now.
Perfect. And by the way, thank you to everybody for coming on the stream tonight. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us and providing some entertainment to the crowd. If you want to stick around till the end of the stream, we're going to hang out in the green room afterwards. And if you have any offline questions you want to ask, that's the time to do so. Going over to the next one, we got Farmer Jay. What do you got, my man? How are you measuring success and where can the people find you?
You can find me asking for spare change off the 405 freeway by LAX. That's or at the DJ Roundtable Telegram chat. That's basically it. I don't really have anywhere else I'll be at. The measure of success, I believe, just the amount of X's I can get of my initial investment. Probably would want to turn some of those profits into more Ethereum. I do not own any Bitcoin. I do intend on getting some Bitcoin, possibly during the next bear market with some of the profits I make. But at the moment, I have no Bitcoin, not 0.00000 nothing. I own no Bitcoin. The only time I've ever had Bitcoin was back in the BitConnect days. And, you know, that's gone. So that's pretty much how I measure the success of how many X's I can make on the current money I have in the market and how much I can hold on to that when we hit the next bear.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for talking to us tonight. And by the way, you can find him on the 405 by LAX. He's currently in a turf war with everybody fighting for that panhandling spot. Right now, he's got the chokehold on that position, but go support your man out there.
Oh, that's my spot.
All right.
You ain't getting it.
Beautiful. Next up, we got Mr. Go Fud Yourself himself. What do you got, good sir? Where can the people find you and how do you measure success?
Yeah. Thanks again for having us on, guys. You can find me Twitter, Telegram, all over the place at the Diamond Rock. The Diamond Rock. It's my pseudonym I've used for years. You can check us out. In terms of how I measure success for this cycle, because I'm a builder, well, maybe not just because I'm a builder, but to me, honestly, you know, we've done okay personally and financially, which is great, but I see this as a multi-decade endeavor, and measuring success for me really is how many other people make money off the products that we create. And the last few cycles, we made a lot of VCs, a lot of money, multiple tens of millions, many of them. And this time I'm more focused on making sure our communities also see those incredible gains. And we build sustainable, profitable products. So yeah, for me, it's more, this isn't like my only cycle to make it. You know, I lost that idea long ago. One thing to say though, is that, again, every cycle in the past, I've held on too long. I caught falling knives. I held on. I rode things to the bottom. So often people will counter trade me, probably for good reason. So this year I just plan to be as objective as possible, taking profits where profits, you know, present themselves and just keep moving on. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be expedited this cycle a little bit, possibly, as we've been talking about, but let's see if we can make some people some money here.
Perfect. I got to say, like, two good points you got there. The first one is that knowing when to get off the dance floor is a highly valuable skill in life, and I recommend it not just for crypto, but also social events. And then finally, you say a point that I think a lot of the good communities that we've seen echo, which is that we want everyone to succeed. There are more than enough gains to go around, and we want to see everybody winning together. We're not trying to dump on each other's heads. That's not what we're doing here. Everyone's trying to build generational wealth, so I think we're doing all right. All right, we're going to pass it over to the professor. Good sir, we know that you want to stack more Bitcoin, but can you elaborate on that? And by the way, where can the people find you for this awesome alpha?
Yeah, so I'm in Discord. I actually hang out a lot in the DGen protocol, Telegram a lot. I do live sessions there a lot for them. Swing Trade Pros is the YouTube channel that you can find me on. I usually go live every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for the weekly candle close, and just to do some TA for everybody. Well, I mean, I think my children are going to need the Bitcoin more than me, so that's why I want to stack the Bitcoin as much as I can. I will use the altcoins to raise cash from and to maybe stack some more Bitcoin as well. I mean, I don't have an issue holding Bitcoin through a bear cycle. I do have an issue holding altcoins through a bear cycle. So I'll be offloading all of my altcoins, including Ethereum.
Excellent. Beautiful. If you want to know more, go check out Black Sheep's Telegram. That is the DGen protocol. By the way, he streams every day at 4:20 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. And you can find the professor over there. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the info with us. This was
absolutely
every time you come on, it's a masterclass. So, like, thanks a bunch.
Awesome. Yeah.
Next up, we got the man who I probably don't shout enough praises for. I would argue that you might be the front-running data scientist for Hexkins and Polskins. That is none other than Crispy Man himself. So, good sir, where can people find you and your project, and how do you measure success?
Yeah, sure. Hey, thanks, man. I think I'm up there as far as the data scientist stuff, but there are quite a few of us, a lot more than you would think. All right, so for anybody who follows me, you know this already, but for those who don't, I'm very focused on passive income. And so it's through that lens that I'll be measuring my success and what my goals are. I use, to make it make sense, I know what my numbers are. What are my numbers? I know what I need in terms of expenses per year. And so I know what I want to pull out of crypto. And so I use the bucket approach. I have a set of 4 or 5 goals. Think of it as a bucket with a number on the side of it, and I will be looking to fill my buckets. And it's okay if they don't all fill. And examples of buckets are, pay off all my debts, have a bridge account for the bear, have a rebuy account, and have an account that, a bucket that if we really do well, or I do well, that I can leave the rest of my crypto in forever and go multi-cycle. I don't intend, I have hodl bags, right? I don't intend to pull anything out. In fact, my goals during this season is to create as many units of income as I can, meaning streams of income using the various things that we have available to us, so that in the bear I still get paid. Anyways, those are the types of things I focus on. I'm thinking about, and I appreciate you guys putting that up. My Twitter is hexfire.io, and then the website hexfire.io.
Beautiful. Thank you again very much for coming on. We appreciate every time you come on, and honestly, the same thing goes to everybody out there on this stream right now. You guys are all awesome and willing to put yourself out there live, by the way, which is hard to do. Anyways, we're going to go over to the usual suspects. First up, we got Nate. Some may call him the robber baron of liquidating people in liquid loans. I just call him an excellent trader. How's it going, my man? Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it wasn't just liquid loans. On the Earn protocol, I happened to liquidate the very first person, too. It was between me and Brendan. I got it. But yeah,
it's all in good spirits. Good spirits here.
All in good spirits. I mean, if you're gonna take out that much collateral and have your ICR that low right off the bat when things are very volatile, you deserve to get liquidated. Quite frankly,
got him.
Safety here. So, anyways, but yeah, Brendan, he's over there. But yes, for sure.
Perfect. Nate, how do you measure success this cycle?
So I measure success based on buying my time back, being able to do what it is that I want to do, because I mean, I do love my job and all that, but it does get in the way of a lot of other things that I wish I could do instead. Like I would rather do, so as soon as I buy my time back by several different methods, I mean, Crispy, what you've been talking about, there's a lot of ideas that I've had as well. There's a lot of stables, pools and stuff that I can earn yield on and quite frankly live off of. That's probably something I'm going to be looking into, as well as if I do actually get enough capital altogether, I might just pull back out a little bit of that dirty fiat and maybe go to an index fund or something like that as well. There's some gold as well that I would like, probably a little bit of real estate too. But I mean, there's a lot of different methods. Diversify, people. It is important. With that being said, though, yeah, this has been a great time, guys. I absolutely love hanging out here with the community and everybody. JD, I'm glad you joined us here. By the way, guys, go support them. Okay, so that's their YouTube link right there in the chat. Go ahead, go support them. Like I said, this is you guys do like a daily little just news type of thing, and it's really good for just like, okay, what's going on, a news roundup, right? And I know like me and Jay definitely are every single day watching you guys, so hey, we support them, you guys should too. All right, go sub.
I appreciate the love, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well deserved. Speaking of some love, we're going to show love to our bad idea man himself, Will Stevenson. What you got, my man?
Well, aloha, everybody. So I have a little bit different of an answer for how I would measure.
And he's rugged.
Hang on. How's that?
Bill is rugged.
Can you not hear me still?
We can hear you. It's just very muffled, good sir.
Oh, it's my fucking USB camera. There we go.
It's your Obama phone.
We do it live.
Can you hear me now? I've switched
We
back.
You're back to normal. And now you're not.
All right. Can you guys hear me? I know it might not be top quality, but it's my webcam that's picking up the audio.
We love you anyways, Will.
Is it serviceable? Ah, fiddlesticks. Hang on. Audio.
Razor Barracuda. My God.
Razor Barracuda it is. You're back.
I don't know if it's StreamYard or if it's my headset or if it's the computer or some combination of all of the above, but for whatever reason, I am hated. So the question that you had asked is, how do we measure our success as a result of this bull run? And my answer is a little bit different than everyone else's. And the easy answer, the first one, is T-shares. So that's how I will measure my success of this bull run, is how many T-shares I'm able to stack. And the second one is the number of children that are now born into the world as a result of me being more financially secure. So that is my more important goal as a result of this bull run, is creating more children by having more money. So that's what I've got for that. As far as where the folks can find me, you guys can catch all of the stuff that I do over at linktree/Will Stevenson. That's where everything, all of the work that I have done, all the DGen Roundtable podcast, the podcast with my brother, some collaborations I've done with other folks, all that stuff is found over there at my Linktree. If you guys are Hexicans and you want to meet other Hexicans, then you need to swing on over to t.me/hex_meetup. That's a little Telegram room that I've created for Hexicans to meet other Hexicans. Essentially, what happens is you guys just basically create a little topic of discussion for whatever location you're at, whatever state, whatever country, whatever city, however you guys want to do it. And you organize little meetups there. I want to give a shout out to my admin, Jesse, to Wild SJ, and to a whole bunch of other Californians. I want to say Nate the Great, Nate the Great 412 or something. I can't remember your name, bro. Forgive me. But a whole bunch of Californians just met up yesterday, and they went to the shooting range, and they went out to the restaurant, and they had a good old time. And I'm super stoked that the little system that I built enabled them to be able to better meet up with everybody and get all that done. And other than that, you guys can catch me in the DGen Roundtable chats. If you ever have any questions or anything for me, make sure that you tag me. There's a lot of messages that pull up or that roll through in there. So if you guys want to catch any of the admin's attention, make sure you guys tag us or make sure you guys react to our post or something like that. You can find all that stuff over at bit.ly/degenerate_roundtable. I've dropped the link in the chat, and because StreamYard is not live, that chat will have appeared about 5 to 7 seconds before I started talking. So just scroll up in the chat and you guys will be able to see that link. And that is all I got. Zenith, why don't you go ahead and take us out, brother?
Absolutely. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is do the final community shout outs. We got a few last folks trickling in here. First off, we do have Hex Monkey. He says, "What's up, gents?" It appears he's late. You might be a little bit late, but you are probably going to be Replay Gang. So I hope you are. And shout out to everybody that is Replay Gang and making it this late. I hope that we've been providing info the whole way through and value the whole way through. And I'm going to hope to keep doing that myself. Next up, we have our BBC Diversity Hire checking in. Dre, good to see you as always, my man. He is also one of the meetup folks. So we love having you around here. And we're happy to see you in the stream. And then lastly, closing out the stream, we have Funkmaster Hex closing out the stream just the way he started it, saying, "Fellas, cheers. Cheers to everybody. The whiskey ran out, but the Rocky Mountain Kool-Aid is still here." That's what we got. Alrighty, I guess it's time to answer my own question. So I mentioned previously that I do measure in USDC, but I also try to measure against myself. It might be a little bit of that mother's wisdom or whatever, but I try to do the best that I can. And I talked to Mr. Angry Twinkie about this off stream the other day. By the way, shout out to him and Crypto Boogie, both good friends of the channel. We hope to be doing more fun stuff with them soon. But what I mentioned to Twinkie was that I want to achieve 80% efficiency. I want to do the best that I can against myself, and I want to make sure that I at least hit that 80% mark, aka I want to make sure that my gains equal at least 80% of the max possible gains that I could have gotten on each possible coin. My game plan is to try to DCA out throughout the top of the market, or what I believe are the top signals. And if I hit 80% efficiency, I'm going to be pretty happy. That sounds like it's some Pareto principle stuff. So that's what I got from my answer to that. For as me, you can find me on the Instagram and Twitters at my personal account, Zenith DI, or you can find the meme account at Hexaco Space Force on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Twitter, it is Hex Space Force as the tag per se. And by the way, if you do go check out the YouTube channel, there is a lost episode of Book Club that was put out at the beginning of April, if you know what that's about. But it was long requested, long researched, and I hope that I delivered on my promise for that. So go check out the Green Eggs and Ham Book Club review on that. That is all we have for tonight. I want to again thank you everybody for coming on. We've had an absolute blast, and we've had a great time hanging out with the community. And massive shout out to Ali of Pulse Chain Wars. As I mentioned before, I am the one that kind of invited him on because I'm very interested in the project and invested in it. However, at the same time, I think he's doing cool stuff. I wish him the best, and I hope that everybody who's interested
Hey Z, real quick.
Yes.
What are we doing for book club this Friday?
Thank you, Nate. Oh man, always keep me on this. Will, you want to jump in here? Because it is actually your turn for book club.
Yes, I will go ahead and jump on in here. So the next book that we're covering for book club is going to be chapter 2 of Sci-Vive, which is all about the corporeal body. Chapter 2 of Sci-Vive. It is 1 hour long. It is super easy read, super easy listen. You guys can hop on over to YouTube and you can listen to a wild SJ read it. You can listen to the monotonous robot guy read it. You can go on over to t.me/SCIVIVE and read the PDF over there. But that's what we're going to be covering this Friday is Sci-Vive Chapter 2 Body.
Perfect. Well said, Will. Thank you, Nate. That is all we have for this week, ladies and gentlemen. As our own Agent J likes to say, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we thank you very much for spending it with us. We value you and try to provide back on that excellent input with excellent value coming your way. So, until next time, everyone out there, degen responsibly.